Hello everyone, today I'm going to disassemble an electric tea kettle. I was about to throw it out because it didn't work anymore, but I thought, man, I want to find out what's inside of this thing. Particularly, I want to find out how it turns off when the water boils, and if it has a safety mechanism to turn off if the water has boiled dry. And then after doing that, I'm going to disable any safety mechanisms and see how hot I can get it, because I want to melt aluminum in it or other metal. Let's jump in.
So here it is, it's a Breville icon. Let's take it apart.
Pretty neat.
This looks like the electronics, and this is a little insulating sheet to keep it from getting hot. There's the details on it. This mechanism's attached by the switch. It's a little bit of a pain to get off.
There we go.
There's the bell. These are interesting. These attach to the bottom with thermal paste there, and they're made of bimetallic strips, and they buckle inwards when they get hot enough, turning that switch, which then pops that lever in the base. Here's a close-up of the bimetallic plate that I pulled out after the fact to show how it works. So I'm going to heat it up, and you should see it click, and then when it cools off, it'll pop the other way. Okay, now I'll show how the mechanism actually works when it's installed. So the bimetallic plate on the switch. So we should see the switch get pushed in. The high temperature switches here. You can see that. The switch popped in just like expected. You can see that it's the same on the other side. Now there's two levers popped in. Let's try to pop them back out now. Oh, interesting. You can't just push it. You have to actually shove it straight down. Oh, so this means that these only reset when the kettle is put back on the base. So you have to take the kettle off the base and then put it back on to reset those high temperature switches. So notice that there's a tube that comes from the top of the inside of the kettle here down to the base, which then enters in right here. So the steam comes in and goes out through these holes in the base, and the steam goes by this bimetallic ring, which pops in when it gets hot enough and turns the kettle off. This is interesting because if the kettle turned off based on temperature, it wouldn't necessarily actually turn off when it's boiling at high elevation, because water boils at a lower temperature at high elevation. So this is a really clever way that they address that. So it actually requires water boiling for the kettle to turn off. So when this gets hot enough, I'm just going to push it here. It turns the kettle off. Now these are the contacts on the bottom of the kettle that transmit power into it from the kettle base. This is attached very strongly. I'm not sure how it's attached. It's not soldered. It doesn't look like it's soldered. Maybe it's welded. I'm going to make a cord so I can plug in the kettle, because I threw out the base before starting the video. Here we go. Here's a way I can power the kettle. I've hooked up power to the base. Now I'm going to turn it on and see if we can watch those switches operate. Oh, there goes. So they did operate. You can see there. So those are definitely safety switches to protect it if it boils dry. So let's see how hot we can get it now. So I've disabled this safety mechanism by removing it from the base. It's getting hot, except for that it's also leaking out some silver metal. That's probably a bad sign. Let's check the other side. Let's see how it's looking. Oh, I think it popped one of the safety switches. Even though it wasn't mounted, it got hot enough to operate. I need to reset it and put a mask on. Okay, so I've reset it. Let's try this again. I'm really hoping that I could melt metal in here, but it's not looking very promising. So it's heating up, mainly only in one spot, the top right there. Oh man, oh, well, that's cool, but not exactly what I want. And it looks like it's dying or has turned off. Yeah, so you can see the LED for the kettle is still on, but it broke the heating element, and so that's it. If you liked this video, please click the like button, and if you want more content like this, click subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, have a good day.